Hello guys, welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. There is a message that I want to share with you guys, and this message, it reads like this. Hello European Confessions, can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I want to share with you my own story. My story, it is very troubling one, and I am someone who is really troubled. Honestly, I do not know what to do anymore. Even if right now I am speaking with you, I do not understand what is exactly happening in my life, what my story is about. It is about like my sisters and my brothers, those ones that died mysteriously, and I do not understand what caused their death. But what happened is that after they had passed away, then people in the family, they found wrong in me because I was not able to attend both of their funerals, because at my workplace there were some things that were going on, and for me to go and attend my brother and my sister's funeral, it was going to cause me to fall down from where I had gone to, and there is too much competition in our company. So for many years I have been trying to make sure that I can succeed, but my brother, unfortunately, just like a coincidence, when I got a promotion at work, that was the same time that my brother passed away, as well as my sister, who passed away a few months later. So when my relatives saw that I was unable to attend both of their funerals, they started pointing fingers at me, and whenever they are going to the prophets or other people, those that they are consulting with, they are being told that I am the one who caused my sister and my brother's death. But to be honest with you, I do not even know what they are talking about. So what they are saying is that I have something that is more like a monitoring spirit that goes around the family, telling me everything that will be going on in the family. But I have no idea as to what this monitoring spirit is all about. I do not know anything about a monitoring spirit. And what pains me the most is that even at church where I attend, a lot of people, they started gossiping about me, because even my relatives, they go to the same church but at different branches. So they went to the church elders. They wanted the church elders to assist us, to give us guidance as a family. But what happened is that the church elders, they then took the side of my relatives who were accusing me of being a ritualist. But my brother, in my life, I have never visited a prophet, like a prophet that is not a Pentecostal prophet. I have never visited any traditional healer or anything. And my story, I can say that it started, this was after the death of our parents. When my parents passed away, I made sure that I was going to focus on life. Just working is all that I was doing. I tried to get a better life because our family was really poor. I really wanted to make sure that I was going to become someone who will be able to lift up her own family from the chains of poverty. Praying, I knew that prayer works, but I wanted to pray at the same time like studying, even though after high school, my grades were not that great, but I tried to go back to school, and I got sponsorship, and I found myself in university. After university, I hustled my brother to be where I am right now. I have never done anything wrong in my life. So when my family members saw that the way that I was succeeding in life, it was at a quicker pace. But what they didn't know is that whenever I would be given work at my workplace, I would make sure that sometimes I would only sleep about 3 hours a night so that I just don't lose my mind. So with the hard work that I was doing, they didn't see any of it. They would just see me like sitting by my laptop working, and they thought that it was quite easy. But when I started reaping the benefits of my hard labor, that was when they started saying that she now has money because she does not have a husband. She sacrificed herself. My brother, for me not to have a husband, it was because of the pain that I had to go through. This was after I had fallen in love with another guy who promised me great things in life. But after I had given him 2 kids. I then saw that all men, they just want to use you. So I chose to focus on my life because I chose to become an independent woman. So 3 years after the death of my parents, that was when I got a really decent job. And 3 years later, when I was thinking that life was going to become stable for me, unfortunately, in that same year, God decided to take my sister as well as taking my own brother. Recently, even if I try to speak with any of my relatives, they always avoid me because they think that I have something to do with the way that my sister and my dad and my brother passed away. They both passed away in very mysterious circumstances. As for my elder sister, she died in a car accident. It was her husband, as well as one of her child. And when we were at her funeral, that was when we heard about the news of my brother. He was not well. He had been admitted into the hospital. So when people were at my sister's funeral, that was when we received the sad news that my brother, he was lying ill in the hospital. And this thing, I suspect that it was actually caused by someone else. And that person, when he saw that I was unable to attend my sister's funeral, he then made sure that I was the one that was going to be blamed, because my brother, I suspect that one of my uncle, she might have been the person who did all of these things to me, as well as sacrificing my own sister. I know that my story, some people might say that it does not add up, because people will say that if you did not have anything to hide, why didn't you go and attend your sister's funeral as well as going to attend your brother's funeral? But my brother, maybe it was a coincidence. Maybe it was the spirit that was sent by my uncle so that the blame can be placed upon my shoulders. Right now, the life that I am living like I am someone that doesn't have any relatives at all, because all of them, they have told me that they are even afraid to be in communication with me, because when they go around to the prophets, they are always told that I am a ritualist. Yet in my home, my brother, I do not have an altar. I don't have anything. The only God that I know is the God that my mom taught me when she was still alive, the God of Israel, the God of the Bible. So if they say that maybe me being a ritualist, I am using the God of the Bible, I don't know. Maybe that is my sin. And it pains me a lot, because even at church, when people sometimes are preaching, I can see that they will be pointing fingers at me, but they do not want to mention my name. And now I am afraid that if I decide to leave this church, I don't know if I'll be able to survive, because I grew up in this church, and in this church, it is sort of like a community. So I don't know if it is a good idea for me to leave this church. Please help me, Brother Nashi. If you post my confession, just ask this question for me. I will follow through in the comment section. Should I try to look for another church so that I can just start living my life? And is it a good thing for me to start ignoring my relatives as well? Because as for now, one of my younger sister, I am the one who is taking her kids to school, and the burden, it is quite heavy on me. But I thought that by me taking her kids to school, I'll be trying to create that bridge that has been burnt down. I wanted to reconnect again with my relatives. But even though I am trying to do all of these good things for them, it is more like I am only doing this because these are my rituals that I have to perform. Please assist me, my brother. If you ever post my story, just tell me so that I will follow through in the comment section. This uncle of mine, the one whom I suspect that maybe he is the one that is behind all of my suffering. This uncle of mine, he is a farm of his. Growing up, as for my mother, she never wanted to visit her own brother, because this uncle is our mother's brother. And our own mother, before she passed away, she never gave us the full information of why she didn't want to be in communication with her brother. The only stories that we had were from some of our uncles who were the brothers to our uncle as well. They only told us that at his farm there are some graves, and these graves, when they asked our uncle about those graves, like where did they come from when he bought that piece of land, were there any graves at all on that farm? And he refused to answer. So they were scared because he had failed to answer a basic question like, the graves that are at your farm, did you find those graves already there at that farm when you purchased the piece of land, or these graves, are they brand new? Because the workers were the ones that had came to report this issue to our uncle's brother, saying that these graves, it seemed as if they suddenly appeared out of nowhere. So they wanted to know what was going on, and since they were scared to go and ask their boss personally, they then thought that it was far much better for them to come so as to report this issue to their boss's relatives in secret, so that the relatives of their boss can confront so that our uncles, they can confirm if these graves were newly dug up graves, or if he had found these graves already at the farm. And even up until today, these graves, they are still a mystery. We once had stories of our uncle like hiring one of those big machines, and he then leveled the ground and he built a big shed on top of those graves. These were the news that we had, because one of our uncle, when he went to that farm, when he came back, he said that he saw that there was work that was being done, and at the place where he had been told by our uncle's workers that this is the place where the graves used to be, that is where he ended up building his shed, where he uses that shed to wash the potatoes as well as the onions when it is harvesting time. So I am just suspecting, my brother, that maybe my uncle, he took his rituals. So I am suspecting that my uncle, maybe he took his tokologies and he then placed them on me so that people can just hate me for no particular reason. Though I told myself that I want to be a single mother, but in life you need someone that you can say that this person, me and him, we are going to grow old together. But there is nothing like that. It is like when a man approaches me, that man will get so nervous. I once went on a date with this other guy who looked so confident, and his confidence had attracted me. But when I was on that date with that man, I saw that the man was even failing to eat his food properly because he was just shaking and vibrating, and he was sweating a lot. Later on, he said that each and every time that he was looking at me, it was like he was seeing something that was really scary. Yet at the same time, he could see that I was that same beautiful but at the same time, he said that he saw that I was that same beautiful woman that he had gone on a date with. So this confused me a lot. I have been praying about it. But my brother, those ones that I thought were like my family, they have chosen to abandon me. Even the elders in our church, they have turned their backs on me. So I do not know where to turn to. Please advise me.